Hi there everybody, welcome to the Green Apron YouTube channel. This is going to be our first video. This is me, hello, Mr. Green Apron. Now today we're going to be making peach and apricot preserve, mostly apricots. Now this is a very good thing to do this time of year because apricots, as you know, aren't native to England. So we have to buy them from further afield, warmer climates. So you can do it any time of year. So we're going to be making that today, and the first thing we need to do is to check through the fruit to make sure that there's no blemishes, no bad bits on any of it, and this is all good. This is all good fruit, I've checked this already. The next thing we need to do is wash it and then prep it, and I'll come to that in a minute. Right, here are all of our ingredients prepped and weighed out, ready to make the preserve. We've got apricot kernels here, which we're going to add in for extra flavour, and if you find one you get a nice bit of crunch and apricot taste, and it's very nice. We've got our water weighed out here. Got all of our peaches and apricots all quartered and destoned, and here's our sugar. We use preserving sugar, so the grinds are slightly bigger, which helps it to set better at the end. Here's the big pot that we're going to use to make it. Very big pot. Okay, now we come to the cooking stage. We've got our pot getting hot here. First thing we need to do is add a little bit of the water in. Then we'll add our peaches, apricots with the lemon juice squeezed on top. The recipe is going to be in the description below. There we are, all lovely peaches. Now we need to bring that to a slight simmer and then add the sugar. Okay, now that the jam, preserve, whatever you want to call it, is starting to bubble like this, that means it's just at the right temperature to add in your sugar. Now you don't want to have it boiling too rapidly now, really just a simmer. Then you add in your sugar. I've got my sugar in a bowl here. Dump that in. Give it a good stir and leave it on a medium temperature while you do this. And make sure that all of the sugar is melted in before you move on to the next stage. That's very important. Okay, now that our sugar is melted in nicely, as you can see, no visible grains, it's all started to melt in nicely. Now we want to turn up the heat to full and start bringing the jam to the boil. I use one of these, which is a jam thermometer. You can buy it at lots of different shops. It's very useful. We're keeping an eye on the exact temperatures. You see on here, lots of different temperatures. So you can make sure that your jam is at the right temperature once it's been boiling for however long that particular jam needs to boil for. And then when it sets nicely rather than too runny. Okay, now we've turned this up. In a moment you're going to start to see it bubbling up in the middle. There we are, right on cue. Now we need to boil it like that rapidly for about 20 to 25 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it doesn't take as long. If it does take a bit longer, just keep checking it, keep checking the temperature, and put a small plate in the freezer or the fridge to cool down, and then spoon some of the preserve out onto the plate and leave it for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, and it should start to set up on the plate. During this stage, while it's bubbling away nicely until it meets the setting point, it's a good time to put your jars either in the oven to sterilise or sterilise them in boiling water. We always do ours in the oven. Got some in there already. Now we're going to put these ones in to go with them. And we put them in about 100-110 degrees for around 10-15 minutes. Then we take them out, obviously, leave them to cool for a couple of minutes, and then we can put the apricot and peach preserve into them using this very useful bit of kit here. Very nice little kilner thing. Okay. Now our preserve has just reached its correct temperature. Not quite sure you can see it there, but the temperature that we want to go for this is 102 degrees, which is just a little bit below the normal setting temperature for jams, but it's not a jam, it's a preserve, so it's slightly different. So now we're going to pull it off and let it cool for around 5 to 6 minutes before we do the jarring process. Okay, we've nearly come to the end of this video. We've now got our preserve in this jug just here. You can see, lovely, starting to set up already, which is just right. The rest of it's left in there. And now it comes to the process of jarring it. Now I've got all my jars here that have been in the oven, they've been sterilised. Got some more plain ones here, sort of, you know, simple ones, and we've also got some rather pretty, you know, more fancy jars that I'm going to give to people as presents and things like that, using for personal use. You can do it in whichever jars you like, as long as you make sure they're sterilised and you've got nice clean lids to go onto them. Okay. Here we are, the finished article. We've got 15 jars of the apricot and peach preserve here, plus another 3 jars there in the more decorative ones. Very nice jars these are too. I hope you've liked this video, my first, as you know. Subscribe to the channel if you've liked it. I hope you attempt to make this at home as well, and I hope you have luck, not that you should need it with this recipe, in making your peach and apricot preserve. Drop me a like, and thank you for watching. I've been Lou Robinson for Green Apron Catering. Bye!